Hi folks, it's been a while since my last video. That's how it is. The garden's kind of been on cruise control because everything was done and then everything was just growing. But now everything's dying back. You can see my dahlias in the background. They got hit by a hard freeze a couple nights ago and now they're looking like poo. I've got a couple plants that need to be winterized, such as that one right there. That's an angel trumpet. And it's not hardy up here, so I have to dig it up. I have to put it in the garage, and you're gonna watch while I do so. Also gonna do my fuchsia baskets, all those up there, and there's 3 others somewhere around the yard. And I have to winterize the front baskets too, which you can't see. So follow along. Okay, this right here is an angel trumpet. It unfortunately will not survive in the ground over the winter here. So I have to dig it up and put it in a pot and put it in my garage. To do that, I'm going to use my little pitchfork thing because that way, hopefully, I cannot cut any roots that are down there. So back it up just a little bit here. This hose is in the way. I think right about there should be good is where I'm gonna start. So I'm just gonna shove it down in there. Comes. Oh. All right, stuff the pitchfork with one foot, grab the plant, and pull. Ooh. Oh, it had some roots. Look at that. Oh my. All right, see? Doing it that way, we got all the roots. That's bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Oh boy. So there's that one. And I've got one more in there. They're out of there and over here instead. So now I have to find a pot to put them in. All right, got my pot ready. I'm going to try to shake off some of this dirt, but not too much. I don't want to disturb the plant too much. I just need it to be able to fit in my pot. Okay, so that's in. I'm gonna put this one. This one's gonna fit, so I don't need to shake anything off. Throw that one in there. Come on, get in there. All right, they're in. I'm just gonna add some compost mixed with a little bit of soil from the yard. It's pretty light. It's not gonna hold moisture in too well. This is really fun to do while holding a camera, by the way. Alright, lost some of the dirt. It's not surprising. Make sure everything's tucked in good and tight. With these, it's the cold that kills them. It's not the wet, it's the cold. With dahlias, it's the wet. So these need to be very well packed in. That's what I'm doing here with my hand. Just shoving everything. Oh, see, there's a big old hole right there I'll need to fill with more soil. Ah, there's some more on the ground right there. That'll work. Now, I need to cut these parts off. You don't necessarily have to, but they're gonna die anyhow, and it'll just make it easier to plant next year because you won't have all that dead stuff sticking out. Couldn't find my garden shears, which is not surprising. So I'm gonna use these. Do make sure that you use clean shears when you're doing this. You don't want to use shears with disease on them to make your plants sick right before you put them to bed. This is difficult. I'm going to have to pause. All right, that's all done. I'm actually going to go to the back and get a little bit more compost to put on top of these because I want to make sure they're good and deep in that soil so they can stay good and warm. And otherwise, this one's done. Now, it's time for the dahlias. As mentioned earlier in the video, it's not the cold that kills dahlias. I mean, it does kill the foliage, the leaves, the plant. It doesn't kill the roots, the tubers. The wet is what kills the tubers. But yeah, the moisture rots the tubers. So if you are very confident in your soil and you really feel that it's good and well draining, feel free to leave your dahlias in. But technically, and if you ask anyone, you're supposed to dig your dahlias up in the fall. I'm not gonna. And there's a couple reasons why. One, the one I had out here last year didn't die, it came back. So maybe my soil drains well enough. Number two, I can get dahlias super cheap, if not free, from a guy I know. So if these die, it's not a big deal. So I'm just gonna leave these in the ground. If they come back next year, fantastic. If they don't, that's fine too. It's just extra space for me to put more plants. I am going to cut them down though, because they're super ugly right now. So, here we go. All right, that's all done. Still got a few flowers stuck in the fence. The fence worked out great as a stake for the dahlias. They just grew right up through the fence. I had flowers on either side. It was really cool. I didn't have to worry about them falling over. So this will definitely be where I plant dahlias next year if I have to plant new ones. It'll be against the fence because it just worked so well for those super tall plants. You may have noticed I left the plants in place. I did that because this bed gets a lot of bird action. And these flowers have little seeds in them, especially the zinnias. Little seeds feed the birds. They also use the foliage to build little nests for shelter. So I just leave it. They'll compost in place. They'll feed the soil for next year. And I don't have to haul it all back to the compost pile. So it's a mixture of caring for the birdies and the other wildlife and my own laziness. So win-win. This little bed is now simply waiting for everything to die. And once all that greenery dies back, I'm going to mulch. I may mulch before. It just depends on when I get the mulch. If you look close, you can see all those big leaf maple tree seeds. So that'll be a fun project next year. But maybe if I mulch well enough, they won't germinate. That's a joke. They'll all germinate. Every last one of those will germinate, and I'll have to pull them in the spring. But that's fine. That's fine. It's cool. Now we are on to my fuchsia baskets. I wasn't gonna do it yet because they're still flowering, but a lot of the flowers got frost damage on them, and I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have in the future, but I know I have time today. And I'm already out here with the camera, and it's about time for everyone to do this, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it for y'all. Alright, here's the first one. It's big. You don't realize how big these are when they're hanging up, but it's a big old plant. These started as just three little bitty fuchsia starts right before Mother's Day. I put them in these baskets and hung them up. And now they're gigantic. They're huge. But time to go down for the winter, so let me show you how to do this. Alright. There's two types of fuchsias. You've got the hanging basket kind that are not winter hardy. And then you've got the bush kind that are winter hardy up here. More than likely, if you have it in a basket, it's gonna be the hanging basket kind. And it's time for them to go to bed. Since my baskets were on my porch and they only got set on the front, I've got this backspace of no plant, so I can show you pretty easily how to do this. So hard to do this because they're still so pretty. We need to cut them. And we are going to cut where the plant reaches just over the edge of the basket. Oh! And you just do it with all of the limbs. And it looks brutal, because it is brutal, but the plant will supposedly be fine. So, just gonna go around and cut everything off. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. See, I'm not cutting it all the way down. I'm just cutting it so that everything kind of stays within the basket here. Some are staying longer than others. That's fine. Really, you don't even have to do this step, but I'm doing it because I don't have room for all these baskets in my garage in their full growth form. And that growth will die anyhow as soon as I take it out of the sun. So you might as well do this. But you don't have to. Just make that clear. Alright. This one's good. Just gonna cut off a few of the extra leaves here. Probably just pull those because they're so easy to pull off. There it is, a winterized fuchsia basket. It's so sad. This one still has a bird nest in it from earlier in the year, and I'm just gonna leave it there. It's not hurting anything. I'm gonna get the rest and do them now. I love that it still had blooms and hadn't even opened yet. So it was a little hard to do, but it needed to be done like I said earlier. There's the baskets and all the plants. So I'm gonna haul all that plant stuff back to the compost because obviously it can't stay on the front porch here. And I do have 3 more baskets that are kind of scattered throughout the yard, but y'all don't need to see that because it's all the same process. You just chop it off to make the plant small enough to fit wherever you're gonna overwinter it. I am gonna put these baskets in my garage. It is attached to my house, so it doesn't get below freezing. I'm gonna put the baskets near the wall that's against the house just to ensure it's good. Before I go and put them in the garage, I'm gonna make sure they're all really well watered. I did water these recently, so they're probably still good. You do want to slow down your watering as you're getting them ready to do this, what I just did. But most people slow down the watering anyhow because it's not as hot, it's not, you know, the water isn't getting sucked up as quickly, and it's just the end of the season, so people get pretty lazy about it towards the end anyhow. Again, all my fuchsias. We'll see you again next year. During the winter, while those plants are in there, I'll probably water the angel trumpets a little bit, once a month. I'll just check the moisture level of the fuchsias. You really don't have to water them, but you don't want them to go bone dry. So just check on them when you can remember to. And if they need a little water, give them a little water, but you don't want them to grow. You just want them to live. So definitely not a lot of water, but make sure they stay kind of moist. They do not need the same amount of water that they need during the growing season. That's it for today. I hope everyone has an awesome weekend. Tomorrow I'm going to my friend's house and we are going to decorate some Halloween cookies. So that'll be fun. But if you guys have any questions about how to winterize anything that I didn't cover in the video, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer you. And I hope everyone has a good weekend. Thanks for watching.